and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
It's finally here. The NDSU Bison are getting set to take on the North Carolina Central Eagles tonight in Dayton, Ohio. There is so much excitement surrounding this game, and the sports director, who knows that all too well, is there. That's Valley News Team's Beth Houle. She's live for us in Dayton, Ohio, where the big game is a little under 40 minutes away from tip-off. Beth, what is the atmosphere like there?
Yeah, Andrea, I can tell you, it feels like game day, finally. You're starting to see Bison fans roll into the arena. The team got here just a little bit before 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock Eastern time, on the court now, getting prepared and going through their warm-ups, looking to make the most of this opportunity and advance in the NCAA tournament to take on #1 seeded Duke on Friday. In order to do that, they're going to need to get past North Carolina Central, a team that won the MEAC and is really a similar story to the Bison. A little bit unexpected in their NCAA tournament berth this year, but every bit as ready as the Bison to make the most of this opportunity. In order to beat the Eagles, NDSU is really going to have to do two big things to stop them. They're going to have to out-rebound them, meaning limit the Eagles from getting some of those second-chance opportunities when they're on offense. And then they're also going to have to make sure that the Bison remember what got them here. And that's really about limiting those turnovers, pushing the tempo of the game so that they can play their brand of basketball. And of course, you can't forget, they've got to hit those threes and be confident from behind the arc. We're gearing up for tip-off out here in Dayton. We're going to have a reaction for you tonight as the Bison, once again, as I said, look to make the most of this opportunity and earn a berth to that next round of the NCAA tournament. Reporting live from Dayton at the NCAA tournament, I'm Beth Houle.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you, Beth. Meanwhile, we've been checking in with local fans who are heading to Bison watch parties around town. One of those parties is at Barcode in West Fargo. Basketball fans are starting to file into the big game. We are hoping to have a live report from the Barcode very soon. Just a reminder for you also, you can watch the game on True TV, or you can catch the game on the live stream on our website. That's valleynewslive.com. Another quiet day, and we are not complaining because the first day of spring has been full of sunshine. Justin, how's the rest of our evening looking?
And thank you, Andrea. Good evening, everybody. Yes, temperatures continue their gradual rise as most of us now close to that 36-degree mark. Now, outside of the valley, especially out towards central North Dakota, they're seeing some mid-40s. And the 40s getting into some areas of our viewing area. Out toward Wadena at 43 right now, close to 40 at Bemidji and Baudette. We are seeing wind speeds across the area, a little breezy from the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Some gusts, especially into Lakes Country, are close to that 25 mile per hour range. Other than that, we are seeing a few passing clouds into our north central Minnesota counties. And other than that, we have complete sunshine. Now, we're going to keep mainly clear skies, possibly a slight increase in the clouds going into the overnight and into the early morning hours. Temperatures falling back through the 30s, but the cloud cover keeping temperatures up. We're going to see low temperatures into the mid-20s tonight. We'll tell you what to expect as we round out this week and go through the weekend and when our next chance of some moisture is. That's coming up later in the newscast.
Okay, thanks, Justin. City leaders in East Grand Forks have declared a state of emergency to help the city get ready for a possible flood. The declaration allows them to be on standby and take action if the water rises a lot unexpectedly. Valley News Team's Maddie Jelseth explains what they're doing to get certain resources ready in time.
With the dike system and the walls in place, I feel super confident that we are protected from a major flood again.
Kristen Kasprick says she feels this way because of the permanent flood protection both East Grand Forks and Grand Forks invested in to prevent another major flood, like this flood wall and this flood break barrier that's around both cities.
Within the city of Grand Forks, we have earthen levees, flood walls, pump stations, we can close gates, open gates.
David Murphy, the city administrator for East Grand Forks, says there's a 50% chance the river could reach 50 feet, which then requires bridges to close. He says because of this prediction, that's why the city declared a local state of emergency.
If the conditions change and it starts moving a little bit faster than we can react quickly rather than having to wait until a council meeting to get that stuff ordered.
The city of Grand Forks hasn't declared a local state of emergency yet,
but they tell me they plan to do it fairly soon.
We're going to do it. It's probably going to be in the next week or so.
Murphy says he isn't concerned of major flood damage because predictions say the flood will be a very controllable one.
It's not really anywhere near the 97 flood yet, and our levee systems are built to go above and beyond the 97 flood.
But there is one concern residents do have: the bridges closing down.
Our biggest inconvenience will be if the river comes up as high as they're saying. We have 3 bridges that connect Grand Forks and East Grand Forks.
All 3 of those bridges would close down, stopping traffic between both cities. But despite that worry,
I feel confident and protected that we'll be okay.
In Grand Forks, Maddie Jalsup, Valley News Live.
Both Grand Forks and East Grand Forks say they are monitoring the water level constantly and preparing in order to minimize any flood damage. Meanwhile, Grand Forks County is offering free sandbags to residents ahead of the possible flooding. However, you are responsible for getting your own sand or other materials to fill the bags. The bags can be picked up during normal business hours at select county sheds. For that list, go to our website, valleynewslive.com. Authorities have identified the 3 people who were found dead in Ogama, Minnesota, Monday evening in what is now being called a murder-suicide. Officials say 28-year-old Emma LaRock of Ogama died of suicide due to a gunshot wound. The 2 others, her children, are identified as 9-year-old Shane Woods and 4-year-old Frederick York. Investigators say the 2 children died of homicidal violence. The 3 were found in this home located at 26393 Beaver Trail in rural Ogama. The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is still investigating that case. A 29-year-old Fergus Falls man is heading to prison for 12 years after being convicted of murder. Court documents state in November of 2018, Michael Ray Mason called 911 saying he just shot a man. Mason told police that he and the victim had been drinking during the day and later got into an argument. At one point, authorities say Mason went into a bedroom to get away from the victim. Mason says the victim came into the bedroom and came at him. According to court documents, Mason told police repeatedly that he had no choice but to shoot the victim. A Minnesota man is facing multiple charges related to drugs and stolen property after an incident this morning in West Fargo. Police were called to Menards on a report of shoplifting around 8:30 a.m. They were told the suspect ran to the store's lumber yard. They set up a perimeter in that area after the suspect ran from the store. Officers eventually found Shane Gill near the Walmart on 13th Avenue and arrested him. He's facing 11 charges, including possession of meth, stolen property, theft, and fictitious registration, among others. Police also arrested a woman sitting in a stolen truck in front of Menards who was with Gill, saying she gave them false information. The truck was stolen from Wright County, Minnesota. Minnesota's legislative auditor today is reporting an investigation found no proof that money was defrauded from a state child care program or going to terrorist groups overseas. Lawmakers asked the legislative auditor to look into whether the Minnesota Child Care Assistance Program was defrauded out of as much as $100 million a year. The report states that federal agents had determined that some of the ill-gotten money had gone overseas, but the money did not go to terrorist groups. Governor Tim Walz says he will address the issue in his revised budget, which he will announce on Friday. The IRS wrapped up issuing its annual Dirty Dozen list of tax scams today, and now they're reminding taxpayers to remain vigilant to these often aggressive and evolving schemes all year long. Taxpayers should be alert to potential fake emails or websites looking to steal personal information. It's often called phishing. Another is phone scams. Those are phone calls from criminals impersonating IRS agents. Taxpayers should also be on alert for tactics aimed at stealing their identities, not just during the tax filing season, but all year long. Also, be on the lookout for fake tax return preparers. Today's the first official day of spring, and that can only mean one thing: spring cleaning. Experts at Home Helper Services say it's best to start from the top of your home and work your way down. They also want to remind people to clean the outside of their appliances. That's a common area most people miss. When it comes to cleaning the bedroom, rearranging the furniture can also help freshen up the space.